Today's Direct was described by Nintendo as mini, but with 14 awesome announcements, it sure felt mega. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from Switch Force. Gabe is here with me, and today we are counting down all 14 announcements based on how exciting they are and how awesome they are for Switch owners. Gabe, did you think this was a good show?
I did. They packed a lot into a very short time period. I believe that is where the mini comes in, but so many games and some DLC. It's a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to.
Yes, 15 minutes, 14 announcements. Let's start with number 14, and that is Payday 2's new character. The game comes out on February 27th, and hey, it's been a long time coming. It might be fun to 4-player co-op our way through some heists, but in terms of how exciting and awesome the announcements were, this one definitely is the bottom of the totem pole today.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's an old game, so getting excited for it is difficult, and the fact that this is just a new character announcement, we already knew the date, we already have that time frame in our mind. We are going to play Payday on February 27th. There is no escaping it, Zach. So the new character didn't do too much for us.
Yeah, I mean, the Escapist came out today, so I was going to try to use that to escape Payday, but you're right, it's inevitable. Number 13 is SNK Heroines, which is a new tag team fighter from SNK, and I feel like this would be a little higher on our list if, one, it was coming sooner than summer, and two, if we had any sort of attachment to the lore and legacy of SNK female fighters. We don't, so while it was maybe even the most surprising announcement of all, it didn't really ring as a very exciting one.
Yeah, fighting games on Switch are a perfect fit. We've said that before. But yeah, like you said, since we don't have too much of affinity for any of these franchises, right? I mean, I've played King of Fighters, things like that. But other than that, I don't know too much about this. Hopefully the fighting game is good, though, as long as the mechanics are there and the gameplay is sound. I feel like it could still be fun. And we'll try that once it does come out in the summer. But, we're going to have to wait some time anyways.
Right, and I think the real question is, does Pocket Rumble release before SNK Heroines?
That's the most important question about the Direct, yes.
Number 12 was kind of cool and kind of also surprising in that Pokken Tournament is getting 2 new packs of DLC. These are in the form of 2 new fighters as well as new assist Pokemon, and the first pack drops on January 31st, the second on March 23rd. I think it's very intriguing because we saw that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe didn't get any updates, yet Pokken Tournament, another Wii U port, is getting now updates, and updates much later than the game's initial release.
This makes me wonder if the updates are happening to bring more people in, or if because there's such a core Pokken fan base that's already playing a lot that they want to market to them, because this is paid DLC that you can pre-order now. Mario Kart has a ton of people playing, but I don't know if maybe they're saving all the new stuff for the next Mario Kart or what they're doing, but Pokken getting the DLC, pretty cool.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to note that Nintendo made sure that many major faces, including Mario, Link, Donkey Kong, and Pokemon, made an appearance in this mini Direct and are making an appearance in the early parts of 2018. I think that's important and interesting to note. That moves us to a little bit of Legend of Zelda. At number 11, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which releases this spring, and I'm sure some people feel it should be higher, especially given it was a unexpected announcement. It is coming to the Switch with all of the DLC and with new outfits from Breath of the Wild, but I don't know, we just had Fire Emblem Warriors, and it already has been released. It's been on multiple platforms. It just didn't rub us as a very exciting announcement.
Yes, like with a lot of these re-releases, I always end up saying the same thing. Wii U, not a huge install base, so a lot of people might have missed it. The game came out originally in 2014, August of 2014 to be exact, so not a ton of Wii U's out there at that time, especially since people had already kind of made up their mind on the Wii U. So if you never played it or didn't play a lot of it like I did, this is a good opportunity. And like you said, Zelda being on Switch in some fashion, this isn't the Zelda we want, obviously, but it's something. And for people that, didn't catch it the first time, good opportunity.
And I will say that the split screen local co-op with Joy-Con play, split Joy-Con play could be kind of cool. It just remember that Hyrule Warriors came out on Wii U and then was re-released as sort of a ultimate version on 3DS, and now we're getting an even more definitive version on Switch. So I think third time maybe the charm and the coolest way to play, and seeing the most enthusiasm, but it just feels a little rote at this point.
Yeah.
That takes us to number 10, which is Faye from EA. The fact that they gave us a release date and that it's very soon, February 16th, for their esoteric and, by all accounts, awesome-looking indie adventure.
Yeah, and this is one that's exciting. Way sooner than people might have thought. The game's finally going to be out because we heard about it some time ago, and it looks cool. You've mentioned it hey, it kind of looks like Ori, not gameplay-wise, but just aesthetically, maybe just a little creature.
Right.
I think it looks cool, and it's hopefully a cool little small game that we can play. It's probably not really long or anything, so yeah, this is another one that I'm really looking forward to. I would have probably put this higher on the list. I think I'm more excited for Faye than you are.
Yeah, and it is cool to see unique titles from major publishers. This isn't an exclusive or anything. It's also coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But you're right, it does have exceptional style, and it looks to be a really cool indie when it hits in just a couple of weeks. Number 9 on the list is Celeste, getting a date, and even sooner, January 25th. Remember, this is the game that comes from the creator of Towerfall, which is one of our favorite multiplayer indies of the last decade. Now we're doing things single-player style in a very hardcore, challenging platformer, but it looks awesome. The art is, I think, super cool, and it's super soon, so you got to be pumped about that.
Yeah, more difficult platformers coming to the Nintendo Switch. We have Super Meat Boy coming this week. Celeste also looks like it has some good difficulty to it. And, of course, once Celeste comes out, maybe they can focus on bringing Towerfall. But in the meantime, hey, a week and a half away at this point, Celeste? Yeah, that's another one that I'm looking forward to. Yeah,
and of all these announcements, it is the soonest. So I think that earns some brownie points for sure. Number 8 on our list is Ys 8. It's releasing this summer, and I think it's a pretty cool franchise. I have never invested heavily in it, but I have dabbled. This is a re-release of Lacrimosa of Dana, and I like action RPGs more than I like turn-based RPGs, so it appeals to me being able to bring it with you. I know you could play it on Vita, but I have, far more fondness for my Switch than Vita, so I think this is a cool addition to Nintendo's arsenal.
Yeah, this is one that I can't speak on very much. I'm not familiar with the franchise whatsoever. I don't think I've ever played an Ys game, but I'll take your word for it. It's summertime, good time to release a big game like this because there's not a whole lot else. And when I say big, I just mean the RPG nature of it. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we are midway through the list. Number 7, Gabe, is the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle DLC. Now, both of us are very excited for this. We both loved Mario plus Rabbids. You were a huge evangelist for the game, and now they're introducing Donkey Kong and a new world. It doesn't climb higher because of the fact that it did get delayed. It now is a spring release as opposed to a January 16th release. How do you feel about the classic ape entering the Rabbids fray?
Really excited that Donkey Kong is making its way into Mario plus Rabbids. Let's assume the kingdom is Donkey Kong related as well. But the delay, that's such a bummer. It's such a bummer. I was excited to play it next week. I had even been telling you hey, in the weeks leading up to this, I want to get back into Mario plus Rabbids to get ready for the DLC. That's something I'm looking forward to. And then just last minute, hey, it's not in a week or so anymore. It's now in the spring. So that's not cool. But Donkey Kong, I'm surprised it's him. I don't know what I thought. Toad was gonna be playable, someone that was already in the game in some fashion that reused the assets. But hey, Donkey Kong, awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Daisy for some reason, but hey, we got a double dose of Donkey Kong, and you'll hear from him again soon. In the meantime, number 6 is The World Ends With You Final Remix, hitting sometime in 2018. Look, this is a very creative and awesome RPG, and it also signifies to me an interesting move by Nintendo because it is a DS game that is being moved to Switch, dolled up with HD graphics and an extra epilogue added, so they kind of ported this in the best way possible, tidying up the graphics, giving us new content. I like what they're doing here. No set date, but it is a really good game and will be a great fit on Switch.
Yeah, I'm excited because I never finished it. I had a lot of fun when I played it, but I have terrible luck with handhelds where I just kind of lose them all. That's why my Switch stays docked. And the Switch is also bigger. So I'm not afraid to lose that, but I am bad at that. And having a chance to play this again, it's going to be awesome. The game has been on other platforms since then. It's on phones now even. So nothing really new, but it's cool that it's coming, right? It was the very first thing that kicked off the Direct So I feel like Nintendo knows that there's some fanfare for the game.
Yeah, I mean, and they are adding the content, which I think is cool, and doing more than just a straight up port. It is available plenty of other places, but it's totally worth it on Switch.
Price is going to be of paramount importance with this. I mean, I mean that's another conversation for another time, but yeah.
Port pricing could rear its head sooner than we expected, but Kirby Star Allies, I feel, is rearing its head earlier than expected as well. That game is hitting on March 16th, and it takes the 5th slot for us. We know a lot of people are really excited about cooperative Kirby action on the Switch. They did showcase a cool trailer, and I like the fact that it's hitting March. Did you expect it to hit so soon?
Not that I expected it to hit so soon, but it's not a surprise, especially because there's not a whole lot else happening, right? We have Bayonetta's in February, so like that month is okay. But March, if it wasn't Kirby, like what else were you going to really have there? So it makes sense. I'm excited. I wish there was online play, which, there isn't, but that's something that I wish that I could play with you online. And that's just not what Kirby's all about. They're all about, playing with your friends right next to each other, and that makes a whole lot of sense. It's just if I had my druthers, that's where I would go with it.
Interesting to note that none of these 14 announcements have anything to do with system-level updates. No Netflix, no themes, no online service. That stuff is all still up in the air. But what's not up in the air is that Donkey Kong is finally making his debut on Switch, at least in a full title capacity. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is getting a port to the Switch platform on May the 4th, and they're bringing Funky Kong along with them for a beginner-friendly mode. I wish this was a collection, but I'm still pumped to get the very underrated, and I think very underplayed, awesome, difficult, and insanely creative platformer. It's a real gem of a game. The price point slightly tweaks me, but I love that we are getting DK in some capacity on the Switch.
Another 2014 game, along with Hyrule Warriors. That's the year it was released, February, for Tropical Freeze. And yeah, I kind of wish it was a collection. If you put Country Returns on there, I'd feel like those $60 are way more easier to just come to terms with. But yeah, a game that's readily available for like less than $20 online right now, being a full retail game on Nintendo Switch. Again, another conversation for another video, but it's good that Donkey Kong is coming. I feel like this is probably what Reggie was talking about when he had that slip of the tongue last year, and when he mentioned Donkey Kong. I wish it was a new game, but it probably feels like this is what he was referring to.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And there still is, I still feel like we will get a brand new DK adventure at some point in the Switch's life cycle, and probably sooner rather than later. But it's nice to see, again, Nintendo really trying to bring a lot of heavy hitters to their fastest-selling home console of all time early in the year. That takes us to number 3. We're nearing the top of the list. And this one, to me, may have been the most personally surprising, and that's that Super Mario Odyssey is getting DLC. Now, they were careful not to call it DLC. They called it an update, and it's hitting in February, but I didn't think anything of this sort would happen. It is a new minigame called Balloon World, where you either hide it or find it. You approach Luigi and have 30 seconds to go stash this balloon somewhere in the world, and then you can access other people's hidden balloons and try to find them for yourselves. It's a small mode. They're also including new outfits and filters for snapshot mode, but it leads me to believe that maybe we haven't seen the last of Mario Odyssey, and that alone helped this climb the list.
Such a creative mode. They do things so differently with Mario, and I feel like this could be really, really fun. I'm going to find all your balloons, Zach. You can't hide them.
I will hide those balloons as best I can.
Which isn't very well, but, we'll see. Again, just the creativity of the mode is what speaks to me here. I think it's going to be fun.
Yes. You may one-up me in the balloon hunt, but I will definitely smash you in Mario Tennis Aces, which is our number 2 announcement of the day. Releasing this spring, basically the newest, like the purely newest game on the list. There is no porting here. It is a brand new title. I'm still surprised it's not Strikers. We had looked up some sales data, and Mario Tennis didn't sell that well on Wii U, but they are bringing Mario back to the courts in early 2018. There's a single-player story mode, which I think is super cool. Those used to be really fun on the Game Boy Advance and in the handheld iterations of Mario Tennis and Mario Golf, and we loved us some Golf Story this year, so maybe it can sort of evoke some of that in a 3D adventure. It looks good. I think it's really smart to get Mario on the front of a box and at the forefront of the Switch's early 2018 library, and I think we're both pumped for it.
Yeah, I echo exactly what you say. Even you beating me, because I just know you're better at this than me. We've played Mario Tennis together, and I do not stand a chance.
I was a varsity tennis player all 4 years of high school, so I will work you, Gabe, until you are just beyond exhausted.
Probably.
A game that some may describe as exhausting, a game that some may describe as exhilarating, and a game that many described as coming to Switch at some point since before the Switch even released, is our number one most exciting and most awesome announcement, which is Dark Souls Remastered hitting Nintendo Switch on May 25th. Look, this is cool for a number of reasons. One, it's just a really great game. It's a really great franchise. It's awesome to see Nintendo and From Software teaming up. It's awesome to see Nintendo getting a very non-Nintendo franchise on their platform. It's awesome to see Nintendo getting this game day and date with the other platforms. It's a little bit of a bummer that it's not running as effectively or as efficiently as those other platforms, but I think it's going to be so cool to take Dark Souls on the go with you. There are so many memorable moments in that game, from the Capra Demon to your first moments in Blighttown. I cannot wait to prepare to die once again.
One thing I'll say
this summer.
I'm sorry. One thing I'll say about the performance is that you've played Dark Souls in 30 FPS before. That's what it was originally released at. So
Yes.
That is okay to me, right? Especially if you have such fond memories of playing it when it first came out. That's how you played it. So,
Right.
And now you get to take it portably, which other platforms can't do, although other platforms can do 4K, which Switch can't do. It is a trade-off. Like you said, fantastic franchise. Really, really looking forward to getting killed over and over and finding my souls once again and all that good stuff.
They are taking it to 1080p, which is nice to see that it's not making some, insane sacrifice on Switch. And again, it's just like a really good third-party addition, and this list says that Nintendo is working it well with third parties, in particular, Bandai Namco, but others as well, and they announced a whole bunch of stuff, which is great, and they fired it off in 15 minutes, and now we have fired off all 14 announcements in order from least exciting to most awesome. Let us know what you think about our list and which one of these you're personally most excited about in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and these superstar announcements. We'll have everything from gameplay to new details to new weird awesome battles between me and Gabe in Mario Tennis Aces. So stick around for that. Until that time, everybody, for myself and Gabe, thanks again. Switch Force, out.